Here we are in beautiful Los Gatos this morning, and what we're about to discover is what people need to do to get their house ready for market. This is a house that clearly is not ready for prime time, but it is on its way to fabulous. One of the obstacles when you're looking at rehabbing a home is what to keep and what to toss. We want to keep mature landscape plants that are going to add something to the final project, but we want to toss the things that don't bring any real highlights or impact to the new listing. This is called a Christie box, and you can see it's very exposed. That's because over the 40 years that this family has lived in this home, the grass ate the dirt, and the dirt got carried off with the lawnmower, and now this appears that the grass has lowered its elevation. So we're going to repair that. Painting is a big dilemma for sellers because look at all their options, and what looks good and lots of fun here can often be a nightmare when it gets on the wall. Best to let a professional pick your paint color because it's impacted by light from a window, incandescent light at night, reflection of color off another wall. It is not for amateurs. Now this room, I'm really looking forward to seeing it change. These people were geologists and they loved rocks, and they painted this room to look like a rock, and indeed it does. It's fabulous for personal taste, but for a general audience, not so much. One of the bigger challenges for us too is the emotional component. When someone's lived in a home and loved it and added things to it, making all these modifications can be very challenging for a seller. Even though they've left the home and they're moving on, they still have this deep attachment. So helping them see that sometimes a house is not a home, it's more of a product, and help them view the changes through that light, that at this point in their home's journey, they want to maximize the value of the house. And so they have to relinquish some of that emotional attachment and let us make changes that make the house shine for the new buyer.
And shine it does. Let's check back in with Terry and see how this property has been transformed.
We saw the challenges, so tell me some of the things that turned out so well.
Oh my gosh, everything from just modifying the exterior presentation, the landscaping was completely redone. We had to raise the grade level, resod. We put mulch around the tree roots. There were some older exposed tree roots, but this is a beautiful tree in the summer and creates a lot of nice shade for the home. So we had to completely reorient the front yard because the approach is so important. When a buyer pulls up to a street, first he says, I like the street, honey, this is going to be great. And then they pull up to the house and they go, oh, this house looks great. And then they get inside, and then that's the three dominoes that have to fall down. So we wanted to make sure that this presentation was beautiful.
Really changed the feel inside.
Completely, yeah.
So tell me a couple of things that we may not notice.
Well, I mean, before it was classic 70s dark brown tile and carpet over hardwood. The paintwork was dark, so just lightening and brightening it all up. But doing it with a sense of integrity around the details is really important. I really have to compliment my friends at Bay Area Floors. They could have just tiled and left a little gap. And when you look at bad upgrades that homeowners maybe do for themselves, there's always a little detail that's out of whack that the buyer always picks it up. I've worked with this particular stager, Key Impressions, since 2000, and they're just phenomenal. When a buyer comes into a home that's staged, the scale is appropriate, the colors all blend, it's not intrusive, you don't look at the sofa, but you're pleasantly aware that it's a room you want to be in, and that's the hallmark of a fabulous stager. Staging is nominal in terms of the return on the investment. What I love most about this project is it kind of is a point of distinction between sort of concierge level real estate and just transacting a sale. I mean, there's a lot of realtors that'll just transact a sale, but this is really diving in to making the product the very best it could be, and I relish this project management and doing all the right things to make the product the very best it could possibly be before I even put on my realtor hat.
Contact Terry Ballantyne and see how she can help you buy or sell your next home.